Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV Transfer Daily, the show where we take a look at the players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal, and we're going to look at them today, starting off with a player that, once again, as with nearly every target we seem to have, has been linked with Arsenal for a very long time, and that is Jackson Martinez. You're going to see this player a lot at the World Cup playing for Colombia, especially that Ramadel Falcao is out of the World Cup. You're going to see a lot of Martinez because he's going to be leading the line for Colombia, and he's a very exciting player. Has been doing big things at Porto. Well, his agent has come out and said that Arsenal are definitely interested in signing him. Also, Valencia are in for him. Valencia apparently in strongly for him. Valencia, of course, the landscape's changed with Valencia because they've been taken over by the Peter Lim, I think, that billionaire from out of Singapore, and he's got a lot of money to spend, and so it would be, quite simple for him to meet that £30 million price tag for Jackson Martinez. But the agent is claiming that Arsenal are interested in him, Valencia are interested in him. Before that, there was talk of Roma and Napoli. There's one thing for sure, he's an in-demand striker, and after the World Cup, if he has a good one, his price might even go up. Is this his agent just trying to, put it out there so that he can get the price up, as all agents do for their players? It probably is. But again, the interest is back in there for Jackson Martinez. And I know there's a lot of Arsenal fans that would like to see that happen, get very excited by this player. Well, we're going to get a good look at him in this year's World Cup, and we'll be able to make up our mind about just how good he is. Another player that's been linked with Arsenal, and I've got to admit, this player, I've never heard of him until he's been linked, and he's a player called Bressan. He's a 21-year-old Brazilian centre-half. He plays at the moment in Brazil for Grêmio, and what I read up on him, all the reports are that he's an outstanding player. There's a lot of clubs have been looking at him. Santos, the big club in Brazil, want to sign him as well. Well, Arsenal apparently very, very interested in bringing him over to the Emirates. Of course, they'd have to secure like work permits, etc., because he doesn't play for the Brazilian national team. But apparently, it's been reported by the Metro newspaper that Arsenal are very, very strongly in for this guy called Bressan. And if you know anything about him, leave it in the comments and let me know, because I'm not going to lie to you. It's the first I'm hearing of him, but Arsenal apparently in for him. The Morata thing, which again, another player linked forever with Arsenal, the Morata thing rumbles on. As I said on yesterday's show, he's available. Real Madrid are not going to be renewing his contract. He's got a year left, and they're willing to sell him. They want a whopping 24 to 25 million pounds for him. I just can't see who's going to pay that sort of price tag for Morata. Great prospect, but really he's done nothing. I mean, he only started a few times for Madrid last year. If he was worth that sort of money, he was that good, I'm sure he would have started a lot more games. Or they're saying that Madrid are willing to take a lesser price of, say, maybe 15 to 20 million, but they want to insert a buyback clause in there where they could get the player back. Now, think about the Cesc Fabregas situation. Think about even what we're doing at the moment with Vela. Would we? I mean, you put these buyback clauses in the contract, and basically what you end up doing is you just end up developing a player for the club that you're buying that player off. So I could see a scenario if that was the case where, all right, you've got Morata for like 50 million, he takes the Premier League by storm, then Madrid come back and say, oh, well, actually, you know what, we want to buy him back now. And the player says, oh, I want to go back to Madrid. That's where I grew up. That's where I want to be. And then he ends up going back. That is why I think the Morata deal is a complete no-no for Arsenal. They need to go after other targets and leave the whole Morata thing alone. And I reckon they probably will do. I reckon you won't be seeing Arsenal going in for Morata, especially with that sort of price. On yesterday's show, remember, we did the poll. We was talking about Carlos Vela and this whole similar thing, the whole buyback clause, etc. And we had a poll on the website, arsenalfantv.com, where we asked fans, do you want Carlos Vela to re-sign for Arsenal, yes or no? Well, I can tell you the result of that poll. 55% said yes, 45% said no. That's very close. Compared to all the polls that we've been doing on the transfer dailies, that's very close. Suggests to me that fans are not overexcited about Vela coming back, but 55% said yes, 45% said no. And I'm sure that 45% are looking at it that they'd rather us go after other targets other than Carlos Vela. Well, listen, the World Cup's starting today, and just to let you know that this is going to be the last Transfer Daily until after the World Cup. What we're going to be starting from tomorrow, we're going to be doing a World Cup Daily, where what we'll be doing, we'll be taking a look daily after each World Cup game at the World Cup, how it went, which players stood out, which players maybe Arsenal should take a look at. We'll also be keeping an eye on Arsenal players at the World Cup, players like Wilshere, Oxlade-Chamberlain for England, Podolski, Mertesacker, Ozil at Germany, etc. We'll be keeping an eye on all the Arsenal players at the World Cup, and just generally discussing and talking about the World Cup, because from tonight it all goes World Cup crazy when Brazil kick off. We're going to be doing some interviews with fans actually tonight at a Brazilian bar, all right, in Camden, called Made in Brazil. So look out for those interviews as well tomorrow. But starting from tomorrow, we'll be doing a World Cup Daily, and as I said, it will incorporate transfers as well. If anything props up, or if any player sort of props out and stands out that we think, wow, maybe that's a player Arsenal should move for, we'll discuss that on the World Cup Daily, which starts from tomorrow morning. Thanks very much for watching today. I haven't seemed to be getting the comments section. I mean, let me tell you, we love Google Hangout, but it's so unpredictable. I'll come on one day and there'll be comments. The comments is so many that it blocks. And then you come on another day and the comments just don't read up. So I apologize for not reading out any of your comments today, but I will go through them today, and I'll try and answer and reply to as many of them as possible. Keep it coming in. Let us know the targets that you're after. Let us know who you think is going to win the World Cup, and let us know which players out there that you think are going to be in the World Cup that we can sign. Look at our channel. We've got loads of videos on that, on players that are going to be at the World Cup that are going to be potential stars that Arsenal could try and go out there and buy. Let us know your ones. Thanks very much for watching Arsenal Transfer Daily. We'll be back tomorrow with the World Cup Daily.